I have gotten a lot of requests to cover the Discord leaks that have been widely talked about for the past couple of weeks, and my overall thoughts about the situation. So of course today, we're going to be spending some time talking about what the leaks contain, why they are significant, the Pentagon's response to it, the arrest of the kid, of course, and just my overall thoughts about the situation in general. So hopefully I can do this in under 15-20 minutes and, make this a much shorter video. Now, before we get into the main topic of the video, which are, of course, the Pentagon leaks, I know there has been not that much activity that has been happening on the channel. Unfortunately, there are some topics that have been scrapped due to the fact, well, I couldn't record because there was non-stop thunderstorms and flooding in my area, making it very difficult to do anything or upload videos since the internet speeds were affected by it, as well, of course, thunder and rain ruining the audio of my recording. That was going to be an issue as well. I've also been extremely busy with my real-life work, obviously, meaning that I'm not able to record any videos even if there is a big topic happening, because making money is more important. Small content creator moment. So, sorry for the lack of content. I know I've been promising some videos. We've got some good topics, thankfully, for this week, at least to talk about. So hopefully I am able to record those, if I ever get the chance. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you ring the noti bell when you subscribe. Set them to all and not personalized, because I'm your news guy. I'll try my best to keep you guys up to date with whatever is going on in the world. So anyway, let's talk about the Pentagon leaks. So earlier this month, I'm not so sure this was last week or 2 weeks ago, but sometime this month there was a set of documents originating from the Pentagon which talks about details on what's going on with the ongoing war in Ukraine. Now I know I have not been talking about what's been going on in Ukraine ever since last year. I did actually have a video planned on what's going on in Ukraine as of now, but it's basically the same information that we've known for months. Nothing really has changed. Kiev seems fine and dandy as of now, but most of the fighting and most of the action is happening in the Donbass region, which is the eastern portion of the country, which Russia is mostly interested in. It has been over a year since the war first broke out. So far, things have calmed down in Kiev, but again, there are still ongoing battles happening within the eastern portion of the country, which is the Donbass region. Now, these documents reveal that there are some things that we have not been told about regarding what's really been going on, and much other stuff as well, but most of this is mostly related to the war in Ukraine. It also mentions information on other countries, such as China, North Korea, Turkey, Israel. It even touched up a little bit on Taiwan and a potential invasion happening there, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. From what we can gather, what we've seen in these documents basically tell us that, well, what we've known since a year, and that is that Russia has not been doing so great with the war. Ukraine has been doing pretty well, even without the use of sending billions of dollars and all our weapons there, rendering our funding useless. But it also states that Russia is clearly not giving up with what they're doing. The document shows their potential attacks, what counterattacks are effective, and what is expected of Russia to do next, whether they will invade Kiev again or not. The documents also show that the casualty of the war is much higher than what we initially thought, especially on the Ukrainian side, and it also supposedly suggests that there are in fact NATO troops, including US troops, that are sent there to help out with Ukraine. But that's just the main crux of what we know in these leaked documents. So we've actually learned a couple of things. Yes, the government has not been really transparent enough of what's been really going on there, despite sending all our taxpayer money to Ukraine for supposedly absolutely no reason. Turns out there are unconfirmed reports of US troops fighting in Ukraine. Keyword unconfirmed. US intel is apparently spying not just on its adversaries like China, North Korea, Russia, Iran, and others, but also Israel, Turkey, Japan, South Korea, and the EU as well. And China might be planning an attack on Taiwan. Also confirmed by these documents, turns out we just found out, if you remember a couple months ago when the Chinese spy balloon was flying over us and collecting data from us, well, it turns out that there was actually 4 spy balloons that flew over our airspace in the course of a few years while Biden was in office, as revealed by the Pentagon. Shocker. The government are a bunch of Pinocchios. So there's a lot of shit that was revealed from these leaked documents, and because these are top secret classified documents, a lot of people might be asking themselves, how the fuck did these documents get out to begin with? And who was the whistleblower who leaked them? Now, these documents have been called the Discord leaks because they were initially leaked through not just WikiLeaks, but the origin of these documents actually came from a Discord server known as Thug Shaker Central. It is a reference to an edgy meme on the internet. Now, this is a small hangout server, similar to what I have and operate. Speaking of which, don't forget to join my Discord server. I'll leave it in the pinned comment down below. We'll talk a little bit more about it there. Just don't share or post anything classified. I don't want to be held liable for it, and I don't want y'all to get in trouble for it either. Shameless self-promotion out of the way, the Thug Shaker Central Discord server documents came to light because one of the admins / co-owners of the server, who goes by the name Jack Texteria, please excuse my pronunciation of his name, actually took pictures of the documents and showed it to everyone who was on that server. And as soon as that happened, all of the members started sharing them to a larger, more prominent Minecraft Discord server, which soon spread everywhere. On Twitter, on Reddit, on Telegram, on 4chan, WikiLeaks. The cat was already out of the bag once Jack leaked those documents on his server. Of course, it didn't take too long for the US government to find out that all of this classified information was leaked, so the feds went after Jack, and he was later arrested days before the leaks were discovered. In the wake of these leaks on Discord, link in the description archived of course, the government now wants to fast-track this Restrict Act bill, or the TikTok ban, both of which deserve their own separate videos, but now they want to fast-track this Restrict Act and add more things into it to ensure something like this never happens again. It didn't really take too long for the legacy media to attack Discord shortly after those leaks. Like, what I have noticed since these leaks is the frequent attacks that Discord has been getting in response to them by the Biden administration, by the left, by the Democrats, and the legacy media, of it being a far-right haven. Where have I heard that before? Oh my god, Discord is such a bad place. They're posting leaked documents, and there's a lot of far-right Nazi shit happening. It is a popular haven for the alt-right. Oh, it must be destroyed, it must be monitored, and it must be censored, or else our democracy will be at stake. Discord is a threat to our democracy. Discord is not entirely alt-right. And what's necessarily wrong with whistleblowing? I remember the time when the anonymous hackers used to hack and leak non-stop shit about every single administration since George W., and they would get attacked non-stop, sometimes even persecuted. Why do you think they wear those Guy Fawkes masks? They were the ones who made it synonymous for hacking. In fact, the Guy Fawkes mask, or the Anonymous mask, or the V for Vendetta mask, is actually a universal symbol of anti-government, similar to the Don't Tread on Me flag or the Gadsden flag. It's become sort of like this thing that is synonymous for libertarianism. Anyway, Anonymous used to be known for hacking the government and other things and other controversial organizations, and they would get attacked and in trouble for it. 4chan used to be attacked, and still is, for being a haven of the alt-right, because it's full of memes, and is the origin of most of the well-known memes that some may or may not be offensive. WikiLeaks gets attacked non-stop by the legacy media because it supposedly promotes distrust in government. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having even a little bit of skepticism with what your government is doing? After all, here in the United States, we do have a thing called freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, in which you are allowed to peacefully protest if something that the government is doing is wrong. The First Amendment is there for a reason. And keep in mind, the kid that leaked these documents on Discord, I believe the dude's the same exact age I am. He's 21 years old, I'm turning 22 next week, and Jack Texteria is not some average Joe in his fucking parents' basement with a flashy gaming setup with all the pretty lights and shit. He's not the fat gamer dude from that one South Park episode about World of Warcraft. This kid is actually a member of the US military. I believe he's the member of the Massachusetts National Guard, if I remember correctly. He's not some sort of random gamer kid who hacked into the US government and leaked these documents, he had those documents in hand without any clearance whatsoever. Whether or not that is in fact true, whether or not he did in fact have clearance to see them, is still to be determined. I understand JJ McCullough's point on the whole don't leak classified documents thing. To be fair, you shouldn't. Especially if you don't have the clearance to even view these documents to begin with. After all, there's always the outside chance that he's just doing this for clout chasing. Remember what I said about clout being a drug? I've said this multiple times in multiple videos before. He's also brought up a ton of fair points, which are probably the most true, especially in this day and age with young people and the fact that they can be easily radicalized nowadays. Seriously. Please follow Andy No on Twitter to know what I'm talking about here. But that's a whole entire separate video. Back to the leaker. The point I'm trying to make is, what's wrong with knowing what the government is doing? FOIA exists for a reason. WikiLeaks exists for a reason. What kind of crazy shit do you think the government is actually fucking doing? Conspiracy theorists aside, some of these things are in fact true. Remember the Patriot Act and the whole weapons of mass destructions thing? Waco is another example, which we are approaching the anniversary of. I know I'm starting to sound a little bit like Alex Jones here, but I'm trying to make a goddamn point here. I don't think there's anything wrong with actually having transparency of what the fuck is going on. What's wrong with asking questions? Apparently when you ask questions, you're considered evil, you are called a fascist, and you want to assault democracy. Can't really give you any examples because this is a YouTube video, but I'm pretty sure you get the point here. Of course, they also dovetailed this with their attacks on Discord being a, quote, far-right haven. Yeah, there are a lot of weird places on Discord. It's like 4chan in a lot of ways. The best way I can describe Discord is like a mix between Reddit, Tumblr, and 4chan. You know you are going to get into the weird side of things if you go on to certain servers. As someone who uses Discord regularly, not denying this whatsoever. Sometimes you can stumble upon a lot of servers that have like a lot of like, you know, satanic, Nazi, and communist propaganda and other shit like that, but that's just like a minuscule of most Discord servers, at least that I have seen. You gotta go into like one of the obscure, elusive, fringe of fringe servers with like 25 or 50 people that have like a new invite link that refreshes every week to know what I'm talking about. But unless you're someone like me who uses the app for news purposes and other things, essentially it's a part of my work, you are more likely to win the lottery than you are to bump into these servers. What you guys are seeing, no surprise, are non-stop attacks from the Democrats and the legacy media calling Jack a terrorist for leaking classified documents. Again, in the perspective of JJ McCullough, is what he has done the right thing? No. Does that make him evil? Definitely not. Classified or not, I think it is vital to actually have transparency of what really is actually going on, and not to lie about what you are saying or doing. Because we already know how much the government is dishonest, and knowing what they've done in the past. George W. And plethora of other examples. Jack to me is like an Edward Snowden-like figure. Or Chelsea Manning, or Julian Assange. You know, they exposed what the government did in the past. More famously, Edward Snowden exposing what the Patriot Act really did, and the whole fucking NSA spying shit. Julian Assange has done his own thing, exposing other governments. He was the guy who created WikiLeaks, by the way. He also did his work exposing other governments, not just in the United States, but all over the world, especially on our adversaries. Anonymous has done some hacking to the government numerous times before, in the late 2000s and early 2010s. That was like their golden age. A lot of the stuff that the government did in the past, which led to the rise of the Tea Party, led to Occupy Wall Street, the Westboro Baptist Church, Gamergate, non-stop scandals, controversial and scandalous decisions that the Bush and Obama admins did in the past. I guess they don't want MAGA to win more than it did in 2016. It was Edward Snowden's NSA revelations, the anonymous hackers' discoveries, plus shitty economic proposals, TPP comes to mind, and all the shit that they did that led to the rise of MAGA, America First, and Trump to begin with. Why do you think they've been adept of calling us conspiracy theorists for the past half-decade? Is Jack in the wrong for leaking classified documents? Well, yes. However, Why is Jack the enemy while Snowden and Assange, and Anonymous, and Chelsea Manning have all been goddamn whistleblowing and showing us the big picture of what's really going on? It shouldn't be a bad thing to know what's really going on in Russia and Ukraine, since we're not really getting that much information about what's really been going on, unless there's been insiders actually there reporting on what's going on. After that Chinese spy balloon, how many other Chinese spy balloons may have crossed over us? Why are we spying on our allies? Also, before I end this off, here's one thing I want to add. Rebecca Jones got treated a lot better than Jack Teixeira with regards to leaking documents as far as that's concerned. Rebecca Jones, who essentially did the same thing with the whole leak the documents thing, was crowned a hero and called a patriot for showing what's really going on here in Florida with regards to COVID. Jack Teixeira, on the other hand, who effectively did the exact same thing, is Satan incarnate because it somehow exposes Biden rather than somebody like Ron DeSantis. Meanwhile, you have the legacy media saying, Jack is evil. Discord is an awful place. It is so far right. It's full of Nazis. And with this Discord leak, they are now promoting distrust in government. And distrust in government is a bad thing and is dangerous to our democracy. I mean, if that's what Discord is, that just makes me want to go on it more. There is nothing wrong with being distrustful to your own government. In fact, you should be distrustful to your government. If you trust your government, then you're a dumbass. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button down below. And if you're new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the little noti bell. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias. Links are in the description below. That includes my new tech sites. I post memes, thoughts, updates, and other miscellaneous stuff there. Share this video around with your friends, families, boyfriends, girlfriends, enemies, whomever. Definitely helps me out a lot, helps the video grow, and helps grow the channel if you share this video around with whom you know. And leave all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As I always end the conversation down to you. What are your thoughts about the Discord leaks? If you disagree with me on something I said in the video, I am an open-minded individual who supports freedom of speech, so be sure to let me know. What are your thoughts on the situation? But anyways, like, subscribe, ring notifications, and until then, take care, talk soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.